Hello. I'm fresh out of the shower and I'm coming at you with a speed build video, or I guess more accurately, a speed renovation. This is the renovation I did of the Pier Palace lot in Windenburg. I always say that like it's German. um, right after I got the high school years pack, I posted a video already, where I did like initial thoughts playing through, talking about the cast, the build by. But so I had basically renovated this lot for the family that I created to do that initial playthrough. And of course, the purpose for this renovation was twofold. Number one, it gave me a very good chance to look at all the build by stuff with the new pack, but also this lot has always been one of the ones that's most confounding to me. It's just a really weird layout. Like, I get what they were going for with this like modern, but it's like not really an open floor plan because like the kitchen and dining area is open, but the living room's off in this weird like closed room with the arch. So this is always I really love this little like island in Windenburg. I forget what this area is called because I can hardly ever remember the name of any of the packs. I'm not gonna remember the name of a specific area in the game, but I like putting Sins in Windenburg because it's very there's a lot going on. It's one of the most like lively full worlds. Whereas a lot of the ones we've gotten I don't even want to say the ones we've gotten more recently because I really love Henford on Bagley. I think that's a great world. When that pack came out, it reinvigorated my love for The Sims. Like, I played nonstop for probably, I don't know, at least like almost a month, I would say. Like, I literally was just so obsessed with that pack. And this one, high school years, has not had the same effect. But anyway, the main point was I really like Windenburg because it's a world with a lot going on. When I started this, I was like, I'm not going to put this family in the world that came with high school years because it just wasn't doing it for me. The lots that were there weren't really... There's only... I believe there are only one or two lots that you can build that are empty to build on. And I don't know, the vibe that I was going for with this family that world didn't match it. So here we are in Windenburg. And then I didn't feel at this point like doing a whole build. So I was like, well, I really just want to look at the buy objects, so I'm just going to renovate this house, make it 4 bedrooms, ultimately 3 bath, and go from there. So yeah, I mean, that's basically what we're watching is me renovating Pier Palace. There's a lot going on in the Sims world right now. They released a new kit and they announced another kit. The new kit was his first fits kit for It's All Children's Clothing. I'm still deliberating on whether or not I'm going to buy it. Excuse me. I really like the clothes. I've watched a couple reviews and, looked at all the objects and stuff. I think they're really nice, and I appreciate that there's a little more stuff for kids. It's really not going as far as I need the game to, but I can acknowledge that it is something. And then they announced I'm not gonna remember the name. It's a build kit that's inspired by like Southwest kind of style decor and buildings. architecture and decor. Sure. That one I almost certainly will buy. I've said this a number of times. I love to build. I'm not an exceptionally good builder, but I really enjoy it. And the objects, just from like the picture they released, which as I say this, and even as I was looking at it yesterday, I was like, I love the look of all of this. It looks so great. I'm so excited, but we've been burned before. We cannot forget the industrial loft kit window gate. We can't forget. You know, I'm looking at the objects. There were some amazing looking windows in that picture that they released, the promo. And I was like, oh my god, I love those windows. I can't wait to have those in game. And then immediately I was like, those windows probably aren't even going to be in this kit. What am I saying? What am I thinking to myself? I'm allowing myself to be fooled once again. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. That I'm gonna buy it regardless. Oh, I shouldn't enable them, but honestly, I'm gonna buy it whether those windows are in there or not. Sorry, not sorry. But you know, so they announced those kits. One of them has been released already. But they released a patch because there'd been a lot of problems going on with the game. And I haven't played all too much since the patch came out, because it was only, I'm recording this September 3rd, the patch came out August 30th, and I work full time, so I'm not playing The Sims around the clock. So we'll see. I'm gonna end up playing a lot this weekend. It's Labor Day weekend, so I got 3 days to just play The Sims and other games. So we'll see. You know, from what I've seen and heard in the community, it fixed some things, but it doesn't go far enough. So, you know, we'll see. I think we're all in a love-hate relationship with this game. Some people are just in a hate relationship with it, but I, for one, am in a love-hate relationship with it. I think a lot of people are in the same place. Because, look, The Sims 3 is life. It is my essence. It is my very reason for being. That may sound dramatic, but I sincerely mean that. I can't, the number of hours of my life that have been sunk into that game, and even this one, I don't even know what to say. The Sims is definitely something that got me into gaming in a real way, because as a kid, my brother always played like first person shooters and like the Star Wars games and stuff, and it was never my thing. It was like too much for me, like very high stress. I'm not great with those games, but I always had like a Game Boy, a Nintendo DS, and I loved those. Like, oh, don't even get me started on like, what was that DS game with the dogs? Where you had those little oh my god, I love it. But in terms of like playing games on the PC or playing on a console, I was never really much of a gamer growing up until I found The Sims. You know, I want to say it was like my brother got the first Xbox we had, which would have been, I guess, the Xbox 360. And one of my cousins had an old, it was like, I want to say it was The Sims, what was The Sims 2? It was like The Sims Night Out? I'm thinking of something. I'm sorry. If you've watched any of the videos I've posted, the one thing you'll know is I don't remember the names of any packs. Like, it doesn't work. Anyway, she gave it, like, it was just a game she wasn't going to play anymore, so she just gave it to us, and I was obsessed. I was like, this is everything that I've ever wanted. And so then we got The Sims 2 for the Xbox 360, and it's just been a love affair ever since. Like as soon as The Sims 3 came out, I got it for the PC, and I've played this game throughout my life. I'm actually going to be turning 27 in a few days, in 10 days, in fact. And since I was a child, like a preteen, I've been playing these games, and so it's something that I need in my life. As much as now I do find myself going to other games more often, I'll always come back to The Sims because it's home for me. It really is. But with all of that being said, it breaks my heart to see the game in such disarray. And there have been some very valid points made about, we shouldn't necessarily be enabling it. Like, it's wrong, I think, for them to be releasing these packs when they're so broken and when they're bogging down the game and making it worse, and really in some cases making it unplayable, especially for people who don't, I've primarily played, since college basically, I've primarily played on my laptop. I just recently got a gaming PC, but to play on a laptop, you really can't unless you have a gaming laptop, just a standard run-of-the-mill laptop that most college students have, for example. It's not really great. And that, it hurts my soul, honestly. It really does. All I want is for this game to be the best that it can be, and for it to be enjoyable and fun, and not just because I don't think anyone ever is going to sit around and be like, oh, well, the build, buy, and the cast of Sims 4 isn't as good. No. They've outdone themselves with build, buy, and cast. I mean, there are certain things that are overlooked in build, buy, and cast. Primarily stuff for children and toddlers, and stuff for male Sims, or just Sims that want to dress in a male fashion, what is considered male clothing. Because every single pack tends to have so much more feminine styled things than male styled things. But putting that aside, certainly the look and feel of the game is fantastic. The objects that, there's no question that the build, buy, and the cast in high school years is phenomenal. So many objects, so much versatility. There's so much you can do with it. It's not just a pack that you get and now it's just to decorate a teen's room. There's just so much. But the gameplay is lacking. In a really bad way. When I go back to The Sims 3, I'm just blown away. I think in the moment, going back to when The Sims 3 was, the flagship Sims game that was out, available, even then it was wow, there's so much to do in this game. I could just play this for hours and hours and hours and hours on end. But once you had The Sims 4 and you're comparing it to The Sims 3, it becomes even more wow, there was so much in this game. But I'm always kind of amazed by how much they did with The Sims 3. And there are so many reasons why it's frustrating. One, because it feels so cash grabby, when you consider the fact that, in The Sims 3 Generations, we got so much, to have, and I'm sorry, I'm trying to figure out the best way to articulate this, but it's in The Sims 3 Generations, to have everything that game expansion pack came with in The Sims 4, you would need to buy like 2 expansion packs, 3 different game packs, a handful of kits, and still you would not have the same gameplay options, like the same. And it's not just Generations, like Sims 3 Pets. Even, like, I didn't have the Supernatural expansion pack for Sims 3 because that's never been my type of gameplay, but even when you compare the fact that we got a whole expansion pack that just added all these different occult, like, things to the game, in this you have to buy werewolves, and you have to buy vampires, and you have to buy the island, it's not island, is it island living? I guess it's island living. You have to buy island living to have mermaids, and like it's all over the place. And so you have to spend what you would have gotten in one expansion pack in The Sims 3 is spread out amongst so many different things in The Sims 4. And even then, when you do buy all those different packs, you're not getting the same value for your money. You're not really getting the same level of depth and versatility, because oh my god, in The Sims 3, anytime that I open The Sims 3 and I'm like, okay, time to start a new save, I'm like, what am I even gonna do? Because the possibilities are endless. I can have an equestrian who's gonna start, just train horses and try to find a unicorn. I'm gonna have just a regular family gameplay where we're going to have sleepovers and we're going to go to prom. I'm going to have a young adult that's going to go to university and be like your average college student, going to parties and slacking off, and then maybe by the time they realize they're about to fail out, they try to turn it around. The storytelling possibilities. I'm going to have a band. I'm going to have a band. Oh my god, just literally the possibilities are endless. Like when they use that slogan, play with life, The Sims 3 encapsulates that perfectly. The Sims 4, it's just not it. It's not it. And okay, fine. They missed the mark rather on a lot of gameplay stuff. But honestly, it is unacceptable for them to be releasing, like, broken packs. And, the fact that some of them are glitchy, and then they say, okay, we're gonna fix it, and then they don't. Like, the fact that Get to Work came out years ago at this point. I mean, was that the first, or was... I can't remember if this Get Together or Get to Work was the first expansion pack. I'm sorry. But one of the earliest expansion packs that came out, and that you still had that problem with the doctor, like the arms just being in the T position. And they said they just fixed that in the patch that just came out a few days ago. What's that about? Like, that should have been fixed years ago. And honestly, I don't know. I haven't played with that specific feature since the patch came out. I don't even know if it's fixed. Honestly, I'd be shocked if it is. And yes, there are like certain things that you can say are like quirks. Like, but a quirk is something like when you do long lifespan and you have a ghost that's working, or sorry, short lifespan, and you have a ghost that's working as your doctor delivering your baby. That's a funny quirk in the game. The game glitching out and like the doctor being like in all different weird positions, and your sim spinning around on the table while she's giving birth, or he, because you can't do that in this game. That's not okay. That's something that shouldn't be there. But I don't know. Honestly, I'm gonna keep enabling them because, like I said, this game it really just holds a place in my heart that I can't let go. Maybe that's something I need to work on, but I guess it's, again, I've branched out. I play a lot of different games now, especially because I have an Xbox, I have a Switch, and I have my, like, gaming PC now. And so it's, you know, I have a lot more options, and there are a lot of other games that I've started to be really into. But again, this will always be my first love. This will always be, just hold a special place in my heart that I can't just let it go. I know, obviously, that's another thing that fairly recently they announced, basically confirmed that Sims 5 is in the works. And, you know, of course, I'll be there. I'll be there with bells on when Sims 5 comes out. I'm skeptical about the possibility of it being multiplayer. I don't love that for The Sims. And I guess my concern is, like, how like, essential is that going to be to the gameplay? Like, are you going to be able to enjoy it without playing multiplayer as fully as you enjoy, like, The Sims 3? That's my main concern, because I actually just did a video on the game Played Up, which is, and, you know, that game is kind of designed to be multiplayer. You can play it single player, but you know, I felt like the single player was maybe a little lacking, and you would enjoy it more if you're doing multiplayer. And look, my fiance and I play games a lot together. He lives in a different country, and so playing games, like, through Xbox Live has been a way that we can still spend time together while we're waiting for him to be able to come here. But it's, you know, like, I think we have very different taste in games. So we'll play Forza together a lot. We'll play, well, Mortal Kombat we have issues with. When we're together, we play Mortal Kombat. You know, we have different games that we play, but kind of fundamentally we have very different stuff. Like, he wouldn't want to sit and play The Sims 3 or The Sims 4, like, any Sims game for any period of time. It's just not his thing. So, you know, if The Sims 5 is going to be, like, multiplayer and you really need to play multiplayer to get the most out of the game, I'm gonna be distraught. Because, you know, not all of us have friends or family who, even if they like to play games, they don't like to play the same games as us. And, you know, I think, yeah, you can play with, like, random people online, but, you know, there are times when you just want to play by yourself. You know, you don't want to have random people sending you messages or interfering with like, this, especially with The Sims, like, the story you're trying to tell. You know, you don't want people, like, are people going to be able to, like, mess around with your builds? Like, obviously now, technically, if I put this on the gallery, someone can download it and, like, do whatever they want with it, but, like, yeah, I don't know. Again, this is all speculation, because who knows what it's even going to entail, if it is as multiplayer as they kind of keep making it seem it might be. I guess that's just a concern I have. It's like, if it's multiplayer, I still need the game to have a single player element that is complete, like, that is as fleshed out as the multiplayer element. And I guess the reason I'm so concerned is I feel like what we're seeing with The Sims 4, especially more recently, is it's taken a backseat to probably Sims 5 development. And so we're seeing what happens when The Sims 4 takes a backseat to something else. And so my feeling is kind of like, well, if in The Sims 5 we're going to have a multiplayer element, and that's going to be higher priority than a single player element, what's going to happen? Because if this is any indication of that, I'm very concerned. Like, genuinely, it gives me stress, because I don't know. You know, there are bigger problems in the world. I'm well aware of that. But this affects me on a personal level. And what can you do? I'm not going to apologize for that. So I don't know what else to say. I guess, to reiterate, high school years has not really done it for me. I think a lot of people feel the same way. Again, I'm the kind of person where I can afford to buy the packs and the expansion, like all the different packs. If I wanted to buy every single kit, I could. I don't do that for the specific reason of I love to download CC. Like, I'm like addicted to CC, and I have way too much CC in my game. But to me, it's kind of like the kits are just kind of a ripoff of CC, which doesn't really make sense when you consider the fact that it doesn't. That thought doesn't make sense. But honestly, that's kind of what it feels like to me. It's like we have custom content creators who are so talented and just deliver when you consider the fact that CC creators who have like Patreon, for example, will let certain tier, like, the people who are supporting them vote on, like, okay, what do you want my next pack to be? Like, what style of clothing do you want to see in the game? And they deliver it so flawlessly, and then the Sims 4 team is just like, here's a kit no one asked for. I guess, like, that's kind of I don't want to say I boycott kits, because I do have some of the kits, and I have all the build kits, but the cast kits, it just doesn't, like, to me, it's just kind of like, I can download all the CC in the world and have every kind of outfit that I want, every kind of pair of shoes, every hairstyle, every accessory that I want in this world, through CC. So I don't really feel the kits that much. I honestly forgot what I was talking about. how I got on this rant about CC and kits. But yeah. I'm so good at this. It's really just something else. I feel like this is winding down. I honestly can't remember where the last room I decorated. This is definitely one of them. So yeah, this renovation, it's not amazing. Again, I did make the house, 4 bed, 3 bath, which is, 4 bed, 3 bath, which is an improvement to I think this was like 2, it was like, there was a bedroom downstairs for a kid, and then the whole top floor was a bedroom, which, again, it's like, this, I don't get what this layout is. So that's good. You can fit easily a family of 5 in here, I would say. Especially, you could easily change some of these teen rooms to have single beds or bunk beds. But I'm not some kind of like incredible builder. I just enjoy doing it. It's very fun. Oh, there's still so much more left. I don't even care. I'm just gonna keep it going. Just gonna pretend that none of that happened. Here I'm building the master bedroom, the primary bedroom. I messed up. I used one of the closets from Get Together, and you'll see here, I put it in, like, it was clipping. It was, yeah, see, it's supposed to go much further back than that. I did fix it. I didn't notice until, you see that? You can see. It's kind of like half in the shower. Somehow I did not notice that the whole time I was building, and then when I started to play, I was like, oh, that's not gonna work. So I did fix that. If I put it on the gallery, it will not be all messed up like that. Just a little side note there. Yeah, I'm really kind of, I bummed myself out with all of this talk about The Sims 5 potentially being, not really a fulfilling game. I know, Paralives is in the work, and that does look really promising. And I know there's also talks of this franchise being bought by a different, either by Disney or by Amazon, I guess is what I've heard. Word on the street. Which, I think would probably be a positive thing in general. Just anytime you can kind of bring a fresh set of eyes to something, I think it's gonna be positive in some way, because EA, Sims 3 was EA, and Sims 3 is one of the most incredible things that's ever happened in the history of mankind. So we can't completely just act like EA has ruined this. I think, I don't know what went wrong. I think this game kind of didn't start out with the best footing. It was released in sort of an unfinished state, and that's kind of been the theme throughout, which is unfortunate, but it's, I don't know. I can't defend that, really. I can't, and I don't even want to defend it. But I guess my point is, a lot of people are like, oh, it's gonna be if Amazon buys it, they're gonna be just as cash grabby, or same thing with Disney. But I don't know. I think, again, kind of having some new developer, probably they would keep a lot of the pre-existing team, but even just to have some new developers or new people who are overseeing the project would probably be a positive thing. I guess it's just, more than anything, they need to listen more to the community, which I think they started to do to some extent with The Sims 4, but it's like they're listening and then they're kind of half-assing it. So they're like, okay, we hear you, you want high school, here's something that no one asked for. Because I think if we knew, okay, you can have high school, or you can have something no one's asked for, but it's really well developed and functions amazingly and adds so much to gameplay, we would all say, okay, we don't need high school. So yeah, I don't know, just my musings on the state of The Sims 4 in September of 2022. And, we'll see. We'll see what The Sims has to offer us in the future. So yeah, this now really is winding down, and I will do an actual walkthrough of the house. That feels like such an official term. Like you're about to buy it. We're gonna do our walkthrough. I'm gonna apologize now because I already know in Windenburg it is pouring rain. It is a dismal day. So you're not gonna get a really nice view of the outside of the house, but the inside will be fine. So I'm just gonna plop down some nice decorations on this boy's wall. Oh, gotta add a few more things to the kitchen. My planning is impeccable for these, really. I don't know how I do it. Okay, now I'm gonna plop down some decor. Oh, goodness. Yep. Here it comes. Some beautiful, beautiful posters. And then that will do it. And then we'll take a look at how the finished product came out. And that'll be that. You can go back on with your lives. Oh, goodness. Okay, so as I said, I'm sorry, it's a dismal day in Windenburg. My sim is not doing too hot. I sent all the kids off to school by themselves because not interested in playing high school. So I didn't really change any of the landscaping. I did, put this table out here so you can have a little more of like an actual outdoor dining space. And I made this much smaller because there really wasn't anything out. Like, there was this huge deck that just had this like table and the whatever you call this, umbrella, and like some plants. There really wasn't much else out there, so I'm like, do we really need this enormous deck? I'd rather have more inside space for the family. So that's what I did. So let's take a look here in our fancy mode. In our fancy mode that moves so slowly. I really don't keep moving further. So here's when you first walk in. There's really no living room. I would say kind of the living space is much more this like music area because the mom is an entertainer and has whatever that music aspiration is. Of course I have, oh wow, look at, someone's done a really nice picture here. Of course I have one of these because it's family gameplay. Not that this really does all that much for family gameplay, but okay. So yeah, that's kind of you got a little nice hall here. And then here's the dining area, the kitchen that in this house originally was like literally just maybe like this space. I made it enormous because you gotta love a big kitchen. Any house worth its salt will have a good kitchen. This is just a little sitting area with a bookshelf, very, very nice, very stylish. I tried to kind of lean into the open floor plan that I felt they were going for in this house, but didn't really accomplish. So then here's the teenage son's room. Really just kind of was trying to make use of a lot of the, like the wallpaper and the decorations from the high school years pack, and I used the chair and one of the, computer setups that they have. But since we don't have like a real living room, I put TVs in some of their rooms so they can, still have a TV. So, great, amazing, phenomenal, beautiful. This is the downstairs bathroom. It's a full bathroom, really just for the sons. This painting was in the house originally, and I didn't feel like getting rid of it, and so here it is. Here it is. And here's the younger son, the child's room. I used some of that clutter that came with high school years. And, he's got it decorated to the max. Got some of those fun kids things. That's really it. When we go up the stairs, I used a lot of the stuff from the what is it, Decor to the Max, is that the name of this kit? Because I felt like it kind of fit the vibes, so I've got that. I really like this wallpaper that came with this kit. It's really pretty, and I like the color of the swatches that it comes with, and this mirror thing is kind of cool as well. So you just got some little hallway decorations, another sitting area out here where you come out to the patio where you have this beautiful view. Such a lovely day. And then just another little hallway. This is the teenage daughter's room. Once again, just really using a lot of the, the high school year stuff. I love this chair. It is so cute. Oh my goodness, I'm obsessed with it. I'm pretty sure one of the things they fixed was the shadow on this. I don't know what it looked like before. Sorry, not sorry. This is the other kind of like upstairs bathroom. You've got a little washer dryer situation in here, and then also full bathroom, and then finally this is the primary bedroom. As you can see, we no longer have a closet that goes through, different spaces. I've never looked in here. This is so cool. I've never been in this view and gone into the closet. Oh my god. I mean, it's not really, I would expect it to be more clothes. This is much more of a storage type closet. Interesting. Very interesting. After all these years that The Sims 4 has been out and I've played it incessantly, you still learning new things. So here it is, and then there's a bathroom in here as well. And you know, that's that. That's my renovation of Pier Palace. You know, I have nothing else to say. I've talked enough. I've rambled enough. I've lost track of what I'm saying enough. So, if you made it this far into this video, thank you so much for watching. If you like the video, please like it, share it with your friends, subscribe to my channel to see more of this beautiful content. And, you know, that's that. Maybe if you want to leave a comment about your thoughts about the current state of The Sims 4, I'd love to hear your thoughts, your musings. So, thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye!